started my journey of going to get an electric car, one question I wasn't expecting to be asked was whether I wanted a socketed or tethered charger. Now, I've driven a lot of electric cars and I've been out and about doing, road trips and all sorts of stuff where I've had to charge, but I've never had to have a home charger installed because until recently I was a petrol car owner, not an electric car owner. So I was a bit kind of thrown by the question of, do I need a socketed or tethered charger at home? In this video, I'm going to go through both the pros and cons of socketed and tethered chargers at home, so you can get an idea of which would be right for you. You may also have seen these chargers out and about in the world. You'll find big, rapid, tethered chargers at service stations, and then in car parks, on the side of the road, and in lampposts. You may also see socketed chargers. These are the ones where you plug your own cable in. A tethered charger at home is one that comes with its own cable that will wrap up neatly on your wall, whereas a socketed version means that you need to use the cable that came with your car. So why would you go for one or the other? The nice thing about a socketed home charger is that they're really neat, so you don't have a trailing cable. This is really handy if you're kind of limited for space and just want a simple kind of plain box on the wall without any wires hanging out. You also have the benefit of being able to upgrade your cable with your car, something that you can't necessarily say for tethered chargers. So for example, if you have an older electric car and then you upgrade to something new, there is that small chance that the cable that comes with your tethered charger won't fit the new car. So it's just something to bear in mind about, in terms of backwards compatibility and how you intend to upgrade your car. The downsides, however, of a socketed charger is that you always have to remember to use the cable that came with your car. So this could mean that you might unplug it from your vehicle, leave it plugged into the socketed end at your house, drive off, get ready to go charge somewhere else, and realize that you don't have a cable with you. So whether you have two cables, one for home and one for in the car, whatever you decide to do, it's worth kind of bearing in mind, are you the kind of person that would forget this? Or are you the kind of person who will always remember to unplug at both ends and put it back in your car ready for charging out in the wild if that's something that you're planning on doing? So that brings us on to the big benefit of a tethered charger is that you don't ever have to remember to take the cable with you or leave it there or whatever it might be that you're doing. It's always attached to the charger. All you have to do is just plug it into wherever your charging point is on your car and you're set. So my initial thought when I got my Renault Zoe was that I wanted a socketed charger just because I thought it would be a bit tidier. It would be a bit easier to upgrade if I ever did do that while living at this property. So it just kind of made sense to me after speaking to a few people. However, I didn't realize when I was going through this process that actually there are some chargers out there that only come tethered. It's not like every single charger out there gives you the option of socketed or tethered. Some are one, some are the other. Those of you who follow me on Twitter will know that I had a bit of a nightmare with BP Pulse, formerly BP Chargemaster, who were installing our free wall box charger from Renault. And we actually decided to go with a different company. So it was originally BP Pulse that asked us this question of did we want socketed or tethered. The whole process was just a nightmare, so we didn't go with them. And we actually eventually decided to go with a local installation company called Anglia Car Charging, who serve kind of all of East Anglia. And they gave us some advice. So we were able to talk to them, and this, I guess, is the joy of a local independent company. We're able to talk to them and get some advice on what would be best for us. And they eventually recommended an OMI charger, which is a smart charging unit, but that actually just naturally comes tethered. I'm not saying that our initial decision of going socketed was wrong or that I'm upset that we ended up going tethered. It was just a case of speaking to the experts and getting their opinion and their kind of view on what we should do. And that was the best thing about going with Anglia Car Charging. They really helped us make that decision and go for a smart charger. So the great thing about having a smart charger is it's based on your energy tariff. So if you have a lower overnight rate, you can set up your charging point to only charge overnight. So you get the cheapest rate for the energy that's going into your car. This does all come down to your energy supplier, so I will put some resources in the description below. There's a great company called Right Charge that lets you shop around for an energy supplier that will give you an EV tariff, so you do get that overnight rate, which is great if you then have a smart charger like I have. In short, you can't really make a bad decision on whether you go socketed or tethered. The best thing that you can do is do your research, and you're obviously already doing that, But if you can find a local installer like I did through Anglia Car Charging, then speak to them, because they will be able to give you the best advice. They know all of the different chargers out there on the market, because there are so many different options, whether it's a smart charger or something basic. There's lots of different things available to you as an electric car owner, and things that will work with your specific car. So speak to an expert and ask them for their advice on what will suit, your home, your car, how you charge, etc. So if you're someone like me who is absolutely the kind of person to just plug in overnight, do my driving the next day, rinse and repeat just like it was my mobile phone, then actually the advice I got about getting a smart charger, which happened to be tethered from Anglia Car Charging, was exactly the right advice for me to get, and it was a great decision to kind of go down that route. A local or independent installer will also be able to give you kind of unbiased advice on things like your energy tariff, how you use your car, so on and so forth. So again, it's worth asking for that advice from those experts. Hopefully this video has given you some clarity on whether you should go for a tethered or socketed charger. If you have found this video helpful, please give it a like and consider subscribing. I am a petrolhead turned electric vehicle owner, so a lot of the content on this channel is going to be about that journey and how I get on with my brand new Renault Zoe, the ZE50, which is the R135 GT-Line. I'm going to be doing lots of tours of that, so stick around. Please give this channel a subscribe if you're interested in learning more about how I get on.